Hello and welcome to stage 11 of the 2011 Personnel Dakar, Argentina, Chile, and plenty of landscape to deal with today. Still desperate to fight back. Remember, he's second going into the day, 17 minutes down on the rally leader. And in the cars, Volkswagen are very much at the front, with other dramas to the fall, the Touaregs. Dakar is taking its toll on the riders. I am done. I have no more strength, says Claudio Pedizzoli. It's such soft sand. The Fiambola. Fiambola, a word that very much symbolises the Dakar in Chile. After 3 tough stages, Fiambola was just as bad. The superfine sand known as Guadal in these parts, or fesh fesh to the French, causing havoc. Whether you tried to attack forwards, sideways, backwards, or just dance, nothing seemed to work. It's kicked up 2 days of very exciting racing and 2 very uncharacteristic results. Therefore, coming back to Argentina, we hope to have a bit of easy going. Matthias Karl was in the top 10, leading the 2-wheel drive section, but he had a small electrical fire and was towed throughout the whole stage by his assistance truck. This is Alfie Cox, the South African, driving the Nissan Dasudra pickup truck. Desperately trying to deal with the sand, flat out, his foot completely opening the throttle. It was soon going to damage his Nissan overdrive machine. The South African is a legend in the Dakar, 5 times in the top 5 on a bike, second in 2002, but since going to a car, he's struggled. Today would be his last day of Dakar 2011. His full throttle antics had boiled the engine. Gasket blown, he would retire. Despite much interest from the locals, there was just no helping the South African. And here's another man that you'd expect to be an extremely strong rider. Christian Califano was 88th last year, but he's more famous for his 68 caps for the French national team as a rugby prop. Rugby props are supposed to be some of the strongest men in the world. But even the Dakar and the Fiambola would take its toll on Christian. Try as he might in the bowl, he just couldn't get out. and soon many people started to collect with him. Having been tried to be pulled by a few people, he tried a different type of horsepower. Argentinian ponies, the best in the world, just as good at pulling bikes out of sand. How about this, at the bottom of the hill, Tim Coronel.
Why don't we first push this car and this car? If we work together, we can make it work. Yes or no? Okay?
The 355 machine of Philippe Gosselin has actually retired on stage 8, but he's still going, just having a very torrid rally. Tim Coronel, still the best one-seater buggy, despite this mishap yesterday. The sand not only difficult to get out of, but extremely frustrating. Having spent the night in the searing Chilecito heat, the Dakar moves to San Juan. The stage has been heavily modified from the planned route, as will just be 500 kilometres after rain destroyed many of the planned tracks. This is the penultimate serious day of the rally. 500 kilometres in Argentina. Just two men really remain in contention for the rally lead, Marc Coma and Cyril Desprez, and once again they start just 2 minutes apart on the road. The landscape very different to what we're used to from the last couple of days.
There's
still 3 hard days. We will see what happens. Tomorrow it will be a long and hard day. Today will be also very, very hard, and I must see how I can manage it. Just look at that scenery. Mountain passes and a rise of up to 3,000 meters before dropping back down the other side into San Juan. And winner of the stage was Cyril Desprez. The first half of the stage he stayed with Coma. There was just a minute and a half between the two. He needs 17 minutes though after his mistakes yesterday with navigation. And after the neutralisation point in the middle of the stage, he then passed Coma and led the second part of today's rally. However, Coma stayed in his wheel tracks. And by the end of the stage, there was just 10 seconds between them, meaning Cyril Desprez did take 2 minutes and 10 out of Coma today. With only really one stage left, that's not enough. So Coma was able to stay with his rival for the final 150 kilometres. And if he can do this again tomorrow, he's almost certain of rally victory, which will make him his 3rd Dakar victory. And it's the first time, interestingly, that the number 1 plate will have won since 2002. But that, tomorrow and the next day, not right now. And the bike still has to hold up, and the engine another 2 days. Francisco Lopez again started strongly, and he had a 1.5 minute lead on the other two by the neutralisation point. However, he missed a note on the navigation on the revised section of the course later on in the stage and lost 5 minutes. Now he's 5 minutes down. Hope for failures of the front two. Aprilia know they're 450 and they know they can run just 3 engines in the Dakar. KTM has not done it before. And Yamaha's main rider, Helder Rodriguez, 4th in the standings. The last 2 days have been heartbreak for him. Led both days strongly, and then mistakes in the final 20 kilometres have lost a lot of time. There are not enough people close enough behind to really threaten his 4th position, but still, he's pushing hard. Here's a man we haven't seen too much of, well, certainly riding anyway. Alain Duclos was yesterday in 8th position, and today he finished 6th, some 10 minutes down. A crash, a damaged wheel and mechanical problems have really caused issues with Duclos, and it means he's 29th overall. Had a few navigational issues today, but still a good result for the number 14 Gio Aprilia. Behind him in 5th today was Quinn Cody, the American rider in his first full Dakar. He's won the Baja 1000 3 times, has threatened the top 10 for the last couple of days, but navigational and bike issues in the final kilometres meant he's never really been in the top 10. 10th a few days back. Still best rookie, just ahead of Frans Verhoeven, who was 7th, 14 minutes down. Was 6th overall for a while in the rally until stage 8, where he crashed and damaged his bike. His now big plan is to make sure his monster-sponsored BMW is in the top 20 come the end of the rally. João Azevedo, the Brazilian, had a good stage again. We've seen him in the top 8 before, and he was 8th today. 3 days ago, he finished 8th. And in fact, he's had a good run of things over the tricky desert dunes. Experience from Dos Santos surely helping him. Back in Argentina, many fans are out in force to support the riders, and Jorge Villadoms rounded out the top 10. He was just behind this man, Juan Pedrero, the teammate of Mark Coma. Hasn't really been on the pace of his more experienced man. First time riding for the Works team, but hopefully his experience this year will stand him in good stead for next year. Villadoms then rounds out the top 10 in 10th position. Good to see him back up there after he's had problems with his Yamaha Racing France machine. In fact, we think it might have let him down later on in the stage. He was 8th, but dropped by the end of this rally. In the quad section, winning today's stage was Sebastian Halpen. It's a good result for the Argentinian, but it doesn't do enough to claw back the deficit to his rival Alejandro Patronelli, who still leads the rally by well over an hour after not having too many problems in the deserts. And stage 11 results: Depre, Edicoma, Lopez, then Rodriguez, Alain Duclos rounds out the top 5. That will be happily received by the Aprilia team. There is the overall ranking. 16 minutes Depre needs to find in tomorrow's stage. Could be tricky.
Pour réussir, il faut essayer.
To manage, you just have to try, and I'm really trying. What can I do? It's all I know. The stage was shortened because of the rain, but it was a wonderful stage anyway. And if the time is not good, at least there is some pleasure. At the beginning, it was calm. I just watched and waited in 3rd position. I arrived at refueling and I was told I was leading the special, so I started to push and look for Mark and Cyril. And then I missed a note at kilometre 20, leaving the refueling. I left a good track for 4 kilometres and then finally 8 kilometres, and I couldn't get them. This year's not been easy. I wish I was in a better position, but that's it. Let's go to Buenos Aires because it's a year things don't
I felt really
have
good
a good day.
This terrain around here is exactly like Baja, only way smoother. But it's you know, the terrain, the mountains and everything are really similar to southern Baja, so I felt comfortable, and I'm getting more comfortable with the navigation, the road book, and you know, I had a good time today. It was fun.
This man needs no introduction. Not only is he the most experienced pilot in the entry, but he is also the oldest. Yoshimasa Sugawara. At 69 years of age, he's entered 27 Dakars. He's taken his approach to the rally into his everyday life.
それはね、毎日
Every
毎
day you
日
must go
確実
step
に
by step, kilometer after
確
kilometer.
実にきちっとゴールすることが
This is my secret to
そ
finishing
の
the Dakar,
完走
and
に
it's the
つなが
same
って
in
る
my
と思っ
life.
てます。毎日毎日。でこれは普通の生活でも一緒だし、毎日毎日きちっとやることがすごく大切なことで、
While he likes to relive his adventure on TV, he says the only way to experience it is to take part in the rally.
そうね。
On TV,
あの
you can see
今の人たち
you can see some
が
beautiful landscapes,
疑似体
but
験
you know it's not the
で
best way.
テレビで見たりゲームでやったりしてるけど、
A long time ago, Terry Sabine said that we must know how to open the doors of our own adventure, and it's more important to listen to our
来てもら
hearts.
って
The Hokkaido adventurer has entered the rally on a bike in 1983, a car soon after, and since the mid-90s he's driven his Hino truck. It's the Dakar itself which is the real competitor, but it seems to be kind to Yoshi, the 69-year-old.
トレーニングしたりして
For
るし、
people old
あと
like
は
me,
ね、年取っていく
There's
と
no
は
need for an oxygen bottle, like the young
うちの
people
チ
who
ーム
passed
全
the
員が
Cordillera.
300超えるときに
We don't need to eat that much too, so we adapt quite well to this.
酸素はいらないで、そのうちに食べ物いらなくなるから
He ended a 20-year streak of finishing last year with a disqualification.
それはね、さっき言った学
The
校
Dakar
が
is like a
難し
school.
くて卒業
You're still
が
learning.
できてない。
The learning is never
あと
finished.
20年
I'd like to do 20 more.
Just get more.
We look forward to celebrating Yoshimasa's 90th birthday then in 20 years' time. But he is a legend.